Hello everybody, I'm so glad you are here. My channel is all about art journal, mixed media painting, collage, assemblage and anything else that sparks my interest. In case you don't know me, I'm Grob and I love to inspire you. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. Today I thought I'm gonna do a flip through some of my journals. They will also be up on my shop. I do have journals which I share easily. There are some journals who are too personal, which I'm gonna keep for myself, I'm sorry. But anyway, some of the journals I have already shown in another flip through, so I'm not gonna go in detail for those, but the others you probably haven't seen, maybe have seen some parts of it, but certainly not the complete journals. Now, if you are interested in buying those journals, you're going to find all the links down below in the description. Go to my website www.beargrob.com and there is a section Shop and Courses. While you're there, you can check the courses too. So, with no further ado, let's go down to the table. Okay, here we are. Now, those journals you have seen already. So I'm just going to really flip through really quickly just to give you a glance of the journal. If you want to see more in detail, I will put the link somewhere here for the YouTube video where I did do the complete flip through. So this is a mini watercolor journal from Artjournal. I didn't do anything of watercolor in this, just collage, and it was especially done in the March, April time when the COVID came really in full swing, so to speak. And I did use very unusual, rather darker, muted colors. So that's the first one that's going to be up in my shop. And I apologize, it was pristine, clean, but when you work with paint and glue and whatnot, the cover's gonna get some colors too. Now that's another one I have showed, which is a really mixture from collage, painting, there's doodling, everything you can imagine. I did use staples, I did sewing, all kinds of things. Again, if you want to see it the close-up, I'm going to put the link for you there. Now this one, I'm actually not sure if I have ever shown it. If, then it has been a long time ago, so that it's a rather small one. I did alter a book. I think there was poetry in that, I don't remember. And I did the classical thing, what you do with altering, you take out pages and glue pages together, and then I did add gesso and then started my journal making thingy. And it wasn't planned that way, just so you know, but I did the bird upside down. Things happen. I did use a lot of different media. I even have put in some cheesecloth, napkins, obviously paint, that's a napkin too, so, and then some doodling. So this is going to be up on my shop too. It is covered in some patchwork fabric and I used some ribbons to close it. Now this one is a rather old one. I started it as single double spreads and then did sew it with chain stitch. I was looking for the word, sorry. That's a handmade paper I used for the cover, and that are some of my roll-off papers. And yeah, I did try out things. It's an older one, so the faces aren't as perfect sometimes. That was right after my cat passed away. I still don't have another cat. I miss having animals around. Now, yeah, what can I say? That was actually a print from some of my painted faces and then painted over. Did use washi tapes and scrap pieces of paper. Those things, you probably can't see it, but they are erased because I did paint them on a separate piece of paper, all the flowers, and then did cut them out and add to the page. Yeah, it must be spring 2016 I did that. As you maybe know or not, I never put dates. It's not that important for me. Once I'm done with the journal page, it's done for me. Anyway, probably watercolor, just splashes and then turn into flowers. That's one of the faces I would say I don't like so much, but hey, that's how I started. Like 4 years ago, something like that. That's one of my drawings, and that's, yeah, these two, those, just, that was actually a thingy I did for a birthday for somebody, but I decided to do it first in my art journal and then use a copy as a birthday card. That was a tissue paper somebody sent me in a happy mail with the printed face on it, so I just glued it onto the page. That was, I remember that was a collaboration with the Creative Art Collaboration Group. Just some faces I made. Tried out different things. And here, yeah, one of my face. And then feathers. I do love feathers. I did make myself a stencil. That's what and I think this stencil gonna pretty soon available in my shop too. Some of you may know I have already some stamps and I'm in the progress, still in the progress. Sometimes life is just too busy that you have so many ideas, but you can't tackle it because, yeah, life, there is life. Anyway, that was one of my homemade stencil. I do use a brother scan and cut for those kind of works, so if you have one of those electronic die cutters, you can use them for making stencils too. That's what I do. That's actually the main reason why I did buy it, because I knew I want stencils, my own stencils. So I figured out that's a way how I can make stencils. Here I did play with ink and with the shimmery watercolor. I don't know whether you can see the shimmer. It doesn't catch it really, but in real you can see the subtle shimmer. Mixed media piece, I did use all kind of mediums, acrylic paint, markers, I don't remember what else. Then, you know I love collage. So one of my morphs, it's a little bit the same theme, like I do also assemblages and I do a lot of what I call morphs, which I mean I give either animals human head or I give bodies, human bodies, an animal head. I like that idea. One of my paintings again, a cute little birdie, funky birdie. Long neck was for a while a theme for me. That's actually a very rough sketch. I did try out, I think it is a water-soluble charcoal I used. Little birdie. We do have a lot of crows around our house, which I like. Again, doing collage, which is actually a face again, which I copied from my own work. I'm not sure, but that might be a video. I really don't remember, sorry. And again, it is not in order how I did them. I jump also with those kind of journals. I jump from page to page. I'm not orderly that way. Again, collage. That's purely collage actually. And that's a painting with a little birdie. That's again a face I painted once and I made a copy for myself and then used it as a collage element too. Now I have to fix that, I guess. That are probably the Jane Davenport mermaid markers. That's another crow I did paint, and the stencil I think is Rebecca Meyer. If don't hold me on that, I'm not sure, but it could be Rebecca Meyer. I think it's her style. That is, if you look at that, where is the other lady? Where is the other? Here. No, that's not true. No, that's another one. Very similar to what I did. Oh, I remember. I did this face and then I made the stencil, but I did enlarge it. So the lips are very... Where is she now? She's gone. Yeah. I did enlarge. It's her, but I did enlarge her. I did play on the computer, widen the face a little bit and things like that, but that's why she has the same lips. Yeah. Again. Yep. And when I do stencils, I usually do it in several sizes. So that's going to be up on my shop too. Now I have to think about it like this. This is my wonky journal, which I just like a week ago finished. I do have a lot of fabric still. Some is from my grandma, some is from my mother-in-law, some I did by myself, you know. I'm coming from a textile background, so I'm always fascinated by fabric and yarn and things like that. So with this fabric, which is from my grandma, I remember that, I made the cover of this wonky book, and I tried to use the sewing machine, but I don't trust it so much. So I did sew the whole thing together, and that's why I can't make a big journal, by the way, because the sewing machines only take so much. I did additionally add some waxed linen with the pamphlet stitch, just to be on the safe side. Anyway, that's what the cover of this journal is. And the inside is again, it is the same handmade paper as the blue one. I have it in blue and red. And as you can see, it is really wonky. First of all, I did use all kinds of scraps for that journal. I didn't care about the sizes. I just made sure that it's not longer than the cover and not higher than the cover. That's all what I cared about. So the pages are very different in sizes. Anyway, when you have this amount under the sewing machine, there's no chance that you can do it straight. I really forced it. I mean, I was lucky that the needle didn't break. So I went slowly, stitch by stitch. I even didn't use the pedal. I did use the wheel you have on the side to turn the needle for stitch by stitch, because it was tough. Wouldn't recommend that. I tried it once. I'm never gonna do it again. I don't wanna. I mean, it's a cheap machine I have, but still I want to keep it for a while because I like to do like going around my cards or whatnot with stitching. Anyway, back to the table, to my really wonky. Can you see the angle it builds? So this is done with the Stabilo All, because it's a newer art journal. I remember what it is. So it's Stabilo All, the black, and then just some watercolor. I have mostly Daniel Smith watercolors. I love them. I don't need another set. I have what I have. I don't need more. Try not to have more. That's actually a page. There is a video to it, but I first tried to film that, but operator's error. I didn't hit the record button, so wondering why it was empty. Anyway, that was just acrylic paint, like sort of a monochromatic theme, and it was early in spring. And yes, 1, 2, 3 spring. Here we are. So then I had to do another because I needed a video for my art journal Wednesday. Anyway, I did more an abstract painting. This time I incorporated also some Stabilo oil and some graphite pencil. Because I have a hard time to repeat myself, I can't do that. I have done that enough in weaving when I was still a weaver for fabric. So here we have one of my stamps, that's 2, and that are ribbons, and in the background there is, I think it's the Tim Holtz stencil I have used, and as I said, my stamp. Those are, we all have those ribbons who are no longer completely because there is a corner missing or something like that, so I did add a whole bunch of those not complete sayings or words just to make an interesting background, and then I added my face, and yeah, that's my stamp too. This is purely collage. Those are stamps, Swiss stamps. I did stamp some flowers, which are not my stamps, on some ephemera. This is my face, which I have copied from one of my paintings. The butterfly is from a magazine, and that's from a magazine. The background is magazine. And some acrylic paint here. That is one of my own stencils. My stamp, and also one of my own stencils. I'm thinking about this stencil having available too, so I think it's sort of fun. Some napkins. That was... I don't remember what that was. Probably a stamp I have. That's again, I think that's the Tim Holtz stencil, and I did draw a face. Added some gesso, and then it's graphite and charcoal. I probably have cleaned up a stencil on this side of this page, I guess. See how wonky it is? It's really, that's the next page here, the words here, so yeah, no way how you can handle that if you force your sewing machine. Anyway, a quick little drawing, added some Stabilo, but I didn't activate it, just left it as it is, and some acrylic paint. Faces, I do like faces. And again, that's one of my own stencils. And I don't know whether you can see it. There is glitter paint. I do have a red glitter paint, which I have used for the flowers. Again, a little bit of acrylic paint for the face. That's about it. The hair and the outlines is Stabilo oil and graphite. And I did make the background. Those are on my stamp set, 2 older words I think I have used as more as a visual texture than to read it. So that again, that's the same face like I have shown you in the other book. Where is it? Try to find it. That's now for sure the same stencil. But I did use it instead with paint. Here I have used it with black paint. Here I did use a graphite pencil just to go along the outlines. And I knew I only want one eye, so I didn't bother to even draw the second eye. But I knew I want to do some hair. So that's the same stencil again, my own stencil. Love your talents, other do. That was a really quick 5-minute thing. I had this already stamped. When I do things, I tend to do it in batches, and then I have those leftovers. That's a napkin, just like, I mean, that's the part of a napkin, and that's the napkin. And again, this girl I have already painted on some tissue paper, so I just slapped it together, so to speak. While this page took a little bit more time. I did doodle a bit, and then I did use mostly Pablo Picasso Garandage non-water soluble colored pencils. First I did the doodling with the micron pen, and then I went in with the colored pencil. That's my own stamp. I have one of my stamp. I do sell them like for 25 francs as the sheet, as an A5 sheet, where there are several stamps on it which you can cut yourself and use however you want it. Anyway, I did draw the face, made her long hair, and the body, that's a napkin again. Glasses. I wanted to try out glasses, and yeah. This I left as I'm at the moment in a stage where I try other proportion of faces, so more widened faces, not so elongated faces. So yeah, here I did play again with the wider face and just purely watercolor. Drew some roses and some greenery. I do like her. I don't like that so much. The eyes are too small for my taste. But hey, it's my taste. That is a work I have done with 2 different types of inks. There's a green shimmery ink which doesn't show up at all on the paper. You only can see it in the bottle. And then I did that, yeah, the green, and then I did put in watercolors. Went over again with the black permanent ink. What I want to say, the green ink is slightly non-permanent, so when you touch it with water, it moves around a little bit, which I actually like. But then I went over with the dark sepia ink, which is permanent, and I also went over with the graphite pencil. I just love the look. Watercolor and pencils. Watercolor and Derwent Inktense pencils. That's what this is. Here again, watercolor, and the hairdo is a hand-carved stamp, which I have actually here. So yeah, with StazOn ink. But the StazOn ink, I mostly used the stamps in black, so I did use it with some red, but it took a while until it became red, because the black always, which is still on this stamp, just came through. So yeah, so those are my art journals, which are for you available if you like. And I know I still owe you a studio tour. So far I haven't managed to make it, but it will come, I promise. Maybe until end this year, something like that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this flip through, and I hope to see you soon again. Take care, bye!